G'day, welcome back to the 40 channel. So today is the 5-speed gearbox upgrade. So we're going from the 4-speed to a 75 series 5-speed, which is the same as a 60 series 5-speed. A couple of differences we'll talk about in the video. We've got my father-in-law Ian helping out. He's going to be a fantastic help. And Jack and Jake are also going to come and give us a hand as well. So hopefully it all goes well, and we'll share every little tip and trick that we come across, because it was really hard to get a full piece of information of how to put this straight in without chasing other bits and pieces up. So I'm sure there'll be things that we hit as we come along. Anyway, let's get straight into it. Alright, come up. 5-speed gearbox. Ready, Jack? Because I don't have it. Ready, go. First thing we're going to do is measure both the front and rear tail shaft, so that way we know how much we need to cut off when we put the new box in. So 1200 for the rear and 740 for the front.
Have you seen such a magic box?
Come on, Jack, use your muscles.
Oh man.
Sorry.
Get it?
One.
The next one will be two.
That's all right.
One drive line off. And that pinion seal is blowing because it's leaking a bit of oil. Now I just popped the top off the top of the 5-speed box here. We're checking all the gears, checking all the synchros. I was told it was rebuilt beforehand, but it always makes you a bit nervous when you go off someone else's say. But this looks sensational. There's not even any wear marks on the gears, so I'm pretty happy with that. This is the same 5-speed gearbox that you'll find in any other 40 series Land Cruiser that was blessed with it. Pretty much 84 model LXs, 60 series and 70 series. This is a 70 series 5-speed box. The top here is going to be a bit different to where the sticks come up through the floor, so we're going to have to make some modifications to the top of the floor. Now there's a guy named Ian Bushman. He does make a top. You send away this top, he gives you a new top, fits straight on there. All your gear sticks come up in the right spot. Beautiful piece of work. But we're going to hack the floor, a new piece of vinyl floor from True Fit Carpets in, so it'll look pretty neat. Anyway, I've unfortunately, when I pulled the gear stick out, I dropped the tiny little nylon washer and it's dropped into the bottom here, so now I have to get it out. Be careful when you pull the gear stick out. Righto, so Jack disconnected the speedo cable. Now what we're doing, Ian's here helping me out, and we've moved all 4 bolts to the bell housing to the back of the motor. Now we're going to start undoing the bolts to the cross member. Now the cross member, if it's 1980 onwards, you can use the cross member. If it's before 1980, you're going to have to either modify a 60 series cross member or buy one from someone like Billy McKinnon's. He makes a very nice cross member that'll work really well. It's really strong. So once we undo them, hopefully the idea is we can sort of drop back, slide it out, and bring that whole box out. On top, we've pulled out the gear stick and the top plate. The top plate, as I explained, is going to have to be modified. And then we can start throwing up the 5-speed and seeing where everything sits. So we already know that it's going to come out about 50 to 80 mil further. So we're going to have to be aware of this here and where my handbrake cable goes that we modified so that we don't need this handbrake anymore. So that's one thing you'll have to do. You can't just throw a 5-speed in without changing it to rear handbrake, so the 60 series setup. And the front shaft needs to be lengthened, so we'll address that a bit later on as well. Anyway, we'll keep moving forward.
Princess Madonna.
Oh my gosh.
Who would have ever thought she's going to come across like hand to the blade? Alright,
So we're free. All we need to do is just go straight back. This is where you've got to be creative with your setups. But we deem this a little bit safer to support the gearbox and lift up the car. Still moving out. Righto, come up a bit more. Yep, a bit more. Stop, 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 stop. Righto, come up a bit more. Just come up real slow. I'm going to try and support this on the jacks. Keep going. Whoa, 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 whoa. Keep going.
You want one end on that? Grab the jack.
Yeah. Hang on. Still going with this.
Oh, shut up.
There we go. Winner, winner. Righto, so the gearbox is out now. We made it look pretty easy because of the video, but in actual fact, that's been a 4.5 hour process. The main reason was the jacks we were using were faulty. One of them just kept losing pressure and the other one wouldn't jack up. So at the end of the day, we got jack of it, and jack's not here. There's a lot of jacks. We ended up just buying a brand new jack, put it under, jacked it up, got it level, slid it out, and then raised the car. Made it so much easier if we had the right tools that worked in the first place. But anyway, now we're going to change the clutch while we're here. New thrust bearing, new pilot bearing, and then we'll start looking at the 5-speed. Rip the cross member off. We've got new supports to go in here because these ones are all cracked and starting to perish. Now the one on the 70 series is different to the one we need, so make sure you buy one that's for the either a 60 series, which is the same as the FJ45 or 47. Righto, there's our cross member. Let's compare the two boxes. Righto, with the two boxes side by side, you can see straight away there's some differences. The main thing that stands out is the 40 series had that handbrake on the rear of the transfer case. That is no longer available on the 5-speed, which is okay because we've already done the 60 series handbrake setup, which is why the rear tail shaft is shortened. Now I'm also told that if you get a 60 series pre-1984 4-speed rear tail shaft, it'll fit straight in. Unless I can find one within the next 2 days, we're going to have to come up with a different option, which will end up just be shortening one. The front, you can see, protrudes out longer than the 4-speed, which is why we need to lengthen, which is a little bit tricky, or get another rear tail shaft, cut it to size, so it'll fit straight in. Now the other thing that we're going to have a challenge with, or that's going to catch us out, is the 70 series yokes are different to the 40 series yokes. So the other thing we're going to do, or we have done, is we've ordered 70 series yokes, going to fit them straight onto the 40 series drive shafts. So a little bit of modifications here and there, and we haven't even got it back up into the vehicle yet. So, but it's good to see them side by side. Righto, so that's the 70 series that's come out. You can see it has a flat bottom and tapered tops. This one is your 60 series or late 45, 47 series. and that's the one we need. So that's a brand new one. We're going to put that one in. Happy days. 5-speed box, we're going to try a different approach. We've got it on a jack trolley. Thanks to Ian. Got Ian here again. What do you need a transfer stick for? Alright, so we're cutting that off so that we have clearance underneath the body. The other thing we've done is we've put Chem Tools thread locker on it all. And we've also put a little bit of anti-seize on the shaft. So hopefully it'll slide in. Cleaned all the threads up, cleaned all the dowel pins up. Hopefully it'll make things a little bit easier to go in. Righto. Let's come down and we'll see what happens with this setup. Alright, stop there. Come down. I can jack that back up. Righto, now I can guarantee to do this 5-speed conversion would be a lot easier if you took the motor out. But we're going the little bit trickier way. But what we're learning as we go is that if we come in on a nice steep angle, we're going to put a jack, we'll jack this bit up here of timber, we slowly jack the back up as we slowly come in. Righto, so you can see that we've got a scissor jack here. Inside here we've got a bottle jack. So that allows us to twist the gearbox. Thank you, Ian. Up the front here, we've got a podgy bar going right through to the bolt. So that aligns our bolt holes up. And it's just a very slow, tedious jack this one a little bit, jack the bottle jack a little bit, line it all up, push in a fraction. So we're getting there, it's just slow. Okay, so we have a combination of the jacks and moving it around and aligning everything up. You also got to get Jake and Jack and Jason, the Triple J team. Righto, we are so close, boys. Without these boys' help, it would have been a bit of a struggle. Okay, I'm going to give this pry bar a little bit of wiggle. Go. Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. Keep going. Keep going a little bit more. Righto, stop. We're on those dowel pins.
Alright.
That's good. I think there's enough there. We can put those bolts in and pull the whole thing in.
Right, do that.
Okay, just...
That's the nice work.
Okay.
Tell me, Tim.
It's in.
You forgot it, you're right, you get it in.
Still
What
not
did,
easy.
what did they do? What's that?
Jake just went like this.
He has that ability, Jake.
It just fell in. It was incredible.
Jake has that ability.
Take this one. Is it?
The boys are just lining the cross member up now.
Is yours in?
I like it.
Is that around there?
Righto, so the 5-speed is in with a huge thanks to Ian, Jack and Jake. They've all given a big hand to helping this. Our speedo cable, it's plugged back in so it doesn't flop around. We've got Jack's GPS speedo that we're sorting out. We had to pull some things into line, twist it all in, so we used a ratchet strap just to pull this cross member back so all the bolt holes lined up. You can see up here, we're very close. Very close, so, but that's okay because none of these bolts here on the support bracket are done up and we're all the way that way forward. So we're going to put a ratchet strap around the gearbox and the frame. We're going to pull that back across and hopefully clear this up. Then we can do all these bolts up here. Move it over. Yep. That's better. Now we've got clearance. Righto, so the 5-speed box is now in. We had to make some modifications to dropping it down, so my father-in-law took care of that. We'll show you what we did there to clear this cross member between the chassis. Now, the rumour goes that if you get a 60 series 4-speed rear drive line, it should fit straight in. So I went to the effort, flew down to Sydney, picked one up to see if the theory was correct, and guess what? It's not. So we're about 30 mil too short. But that's not too much of a drama because we need to get a rear tail shaft to make a front tail shaft. So we're going to make one up. We'll cut it up on the lathe, machine it, re-weld it, put that in, and then we'll use this one to make the front. So I just wanted to see if that story was true. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. In this case, it didn't. So I'm not going to say that it's for everyone, but in this case, didn't fit. Anyway, let's get the new one made up and we'll fit it up. Righto, we're finally done. So rear and front drive shafts are all machined up, all welded up. Now it's time to throw them in the car. Make sure we've got the right lengths and we'll give it a go. There's our front drive shaft ready to go in. Now I have to say a huge thank you to Carter's Engineering. They've been so supportive of me through this whole process. They supported me last time in Long Drive for a Drought, and they're supporting me again this time in Long Drive for a Drought. So a big thank you to Carter's. So good on you guys. Righto, so here we are. We've got the new tail shaft. It's been machined back. We've bored out the inside. We've slipped it in. We've welded it back up. So now let's see if we've got success with this. Well, it's looking good. Look at that. Perfect. We'll bolt that up and hopefully we're ready to drive out. But one thing you need to be aware of, if you're putting a gearbox in from a 75 series or 60 series, your output flange is going to be different to the flange at the back. So you've got a couple options. You can change the yoke. You can use the existing drive shaft and change the yoke. So you've matched up 75, that'll all fit, no dramas. Just put new unis in and use all the existing at the rear. Or you can buy a multi-flange and change it on the diff, so it doesn't matter what you put on it, it'll all work. Well, that fits perfectly. I'm super happy with that. We've got lots of clearance over the cross member again because we've dropped it down. Sensational. Fold it all up, take it for its first test drive. Righto, completely finished. Everything's bolted up. Time for its test drive now, so let's get in and give it a go. k's an hour, and I actually can hear myself think. On top of that, I can actually hear the wind noise over the engine revving. So, 5th gear. I am absolutely stoked with 5th gear. It's going to be a fantastic cruising gear, especially on the highway for a long drive for a drought. So, super happy. After the modification to the driveline, it is spot on. No vibration, it is driving super smooth down the highway. Anyway guys, thanks so much for tuning in. Hope this video helped you guys out. Feel free to subscribe down below, and until next time, take care of yourselves.